there were some names in that lineup that were like, whoa. Jim Thome being one of them.
Yeah, he was late season ad.
Was he a guy that, did you guys have any sort of, did you pick up anything from him? Because, I mean, you're talking about like legend, 600 homers.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, and me being in Cleveland, like, you know, there's an allure there. And so, but he was just, like, he was doing it forever.
Yeah.
He was the left-handed banger,
Mm-hmm.
third baseman early in his career, moved to first, DH. So, like, you know, there's a lot of similarities there between you guys, because he wasn't necessarily like just the power guy early, right?
Yeah.
It got, you know, later on he started basically like that was his calling card. But like what could a guy like you, second year in Baltimore, not a great team, trying to get better.
Yeah.
You guys start competing, you bring in this Cooperstown bound guy.
Yeah. I mean, he was huge for me. I mean, first of all, he's a phenomenal human being. Like,
unreal.
Unbelievable human being. Would give you the shirt off his back, like just like Hall of Fame in every aspect of his life. And as I got older in college, in high school and college, my guy growing up was Ken Griffey Jr. I loved his swing. I was left-handed. He's Ken Griffey Jr., you know, so I was like, I'm going to be Ken Griffey Jr. And as I got older and got into high school and college, a lot of scouts and other coaches and just guys around baseball started saying, man, this guy reminds me of Jim Thome. And I'm like, Jim Thome's awesome. I remember the Tribe in the 90s. Like, they were awesome. And I remember him in Philly, you know, hitting bombs, hitting 40 home runs. And so I knew very, very well who he was. And in my head, I kind of patterned my game after him in my sophomore year of college, like my swing. And I just loved it. I loved it. So getting to play with him was like, this is awesome. It was like getting to play with Pudge, you know, like guys that I grew up watching that I had so much admiration and respect for. And at that time, I was getting ready to move to right field. So CC hits Markakis in the wrist, breaks his wrist. I end up having to move to right field. But before that, I was DHing a lot. And I was okay DHing, but I didn't know what I was doing, you know, because I'm like, ADD is all get out. So it's like when I'm not hitting, it's hard for me to sit there and watch defense. I feel like I should be hitting. It's like kind of what you alluded to earlier. I've got to stay loose, but like I don't want to wear myself out. But so I didn't have a routine, and he was so big for me in that regard, to where he's like, hey, this is what I've done. This is what I feel like works. Maybe try some things. And he gave me like kind of the blueprint for a routine, which actually ended up turning me into a really good DH, which helped me moving forward, because Buck, I think, was always kind of hesitant to put me in because of the swing and miss ability. Like, he didn't want to give up that contact for a DH spot. Like, he wanted to put somebody in there that was going to be a reliable bat. And depending on the day, you know, like, there were some days when I wasn't necessarily a reliable bat. So I think showing that I could consistently have success at the DH spot opened it up for me, not only later in the season in 2012, but into 2013 and later in my career as well. So he was huge for me. And just watching him go about his business every day. I mean, he was almost 40, if not 40 at that time. Watching him get there at 12:30 and get on the foam roller and do all these things to stay loose for maybe a potential at bat. Like, I'm just like, this is what a Hall of Famer looks like.
Dude, and how crazy is it when you play with a guy that your peer, like the other guys in the locker room, the guys in the other team, are like hounding him for his autograph.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
everywhere
how
we went.
crazy is that?
Everywhere we went,
Where it's
other
like
teams.
you're like on the field, like, you know, a young first baseman, and Jim Thome standing on first base about to take his lead. And he's like, hey, man, like, if I send a jersey over, will you sign it? And he's like, oh, you know, him being
absolutely,
like, dude, like, big leaguers asking this guy because he's just next level. Man, he was just one of those guys that, you know, I think everybody that got to play with him or against him remembers it, everything about it.
Yeah.